Hello and welcome to the Cornhusker Cooldown, episode 8. My name is Patrick Patio.
My name is Joe Mojojoe.
And we're here. We got a lot to cover today.
We have a lot to cover today, so let's go right into it.
Right into it.
No varsity games.
Yeah, nothing for CCL.
We'll talk about it. We'll have stuff for CCL.
Yeah. No past games.
No past games.
Of Nebraska.
But JV had 2 series, so we're going to hit on both of them a little bit quicker than I'd like to, but decent chunk of stuff. So first, O2 versus Kittens of the Shamed Bloodline. That's an AI photo, by the way. It's not the real one.
What a banger photo.
Overall, not the best performance of us. We had Mr. Noah. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I don't know what I'm saying. But essentially, bot lane diff 13-1 game 1 for the Kaisa into us. Isaac had an okay game, and I think we were put in positions to be able to do well in this game. But yeah, I mean, 9-2 Cho'Gath and 13-1 Kaisa. So
yeah, definitely a little rough, and it didn't look like it looked like we may have fallen apart kind of going into game 2.
A little bit.
Cooper definitely had a pretty decent game 1. I know he's been liking the Vi.
Yep. Funny story about Cooper. So.
Oh, okay.
Carl, myself, and Preston. Carl's the coach, center. We were in a call. We were watching Preston solo queue game, and then JV was in another call, essentially, right?
As they do.
So Cooper jumps down, and he asks Center and I, he's like, okay, so I'm going to name you 2 champions. I'm going to start, and I'm going to start spamming one of these 2 champions solo queue, but you're going to choose it, right?
Okay.
So first off, what type of 2 champions do you think he's saying?
I got you. Hear me out. Kha'Zix and Rengar.
Okay.
So I mean, Vi's got to be one of them.
No, so it's 2 new champions.
2 new champions.
So
wait. Neferi and Gwen.
Oh wait, is one of them Pantheon?
no, he did mention it.
He mentioned.
He mentioned it, but it's not the 2 we talked
It's
about.
not the 2 that. Okay.
Neferi and Gwen. Because those 2 champions are broken.
Gwen's getting nerfed.
Yeah.
Darius is getting nerfed.
Isn't Neferi getting nerfed too?
I think so, but she'll probably still be decent.
Yeah. Is it Jarvan?
No.
Oh dang it!
But
I want
do
everyone
one
to
more.
learn
Do
Jarvan.
one more.
Sejuani?
No. Okay,
dang
so
it.
he
Skarner?
he came into it and
Lee Sin.
Lee Sin,
No.
and then Graves, and then before Cinder said anything, I bumped in and said, "Well, you've chosen 2 wrong answers." It's not spam either of those ones.
Why does no one want to learn like the champions that are good for
But,
competitive? Why does no one want to learn
Yeah, I mean,
those?
Cooper did mention Pantheon
Yeah.
today, and then Noah mentioned Maokai as support, so interesting stuff.
Yeah.
But game 2, yeah, a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
12-6 Silas mid lane, 12-4 Twitch on the enemy team. Jason went 1-14, and it kind of was like you know how you're support. You both are supports. But as an AD carry, there's some games where you kind of don't get fed, and then your team gets run over every single time they do anything, and then you're sort of left in that 1v4 situation where you don't win and you die.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what always happened. And he ended up being at every single fight.
Mm-hmm.
So he just died 14 times.
Sometimes it do just kind of be like that. I do like the fact that he's expanding his pool a little bit. I know that he's been working on. I mean, Varus is a great addition. Obviously, we love Varus here, but a little. Yes.
Oh, chill.
Yeah, come on.
That doesn't mean I love him.
That's fair.
Just like Patrick said, you're a pro with a bow.
He's a pro with a bow. But
You came up with that one-liner before the stream, right?
yeah, just before the stream. That was the first time it came up. But I do like the kind of trying to expand these pools a little bit.
Yeah. It's something I think in JV in the future we should be focusing on more individual gameplay, champions specifically, like how we did with Chet.
Yeah.
When we coached Chet, we got him off the Quinn mid, off the Zed, try to get him on more of control mages, maybe some other style types of picks. He talked about doing Yone and stuff, so
Yeah.
he's massively improved.
Oh yeah.
He's been a very big part of varsity's success so far.
Yeah. So
But second series,
Yes.
O2 versus Riverhawks.
yeah. Speaking of varsity, we had varsity support and varsity top laner subbing in. Obviously, Isaac is now a staple on the JV team, but Ben joining in. Still going 0-2 though.
Yes. Ben had like so game one overall was just like a rough performance from every part of the map. The bot lane was like the biggest one. I actually went 11-1, but I wouldn't say it's like Cooper and Jason and Ben Inting. More of like the Ash ended up getting all the kills, which is pretty solid when you get your 80 carry ahead. They keep on getting ahead.
Yep.
But game two was a lot more frustrating, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, what about it was so frustrating? Obviously, they had a kind of a Fed misfortune.
Yeah, Ben on the Pantheon was essentially over roaming. So Misfortune got 5 plates and tier 2 solo.
Okay.
So Misfortune was turbo fed despite having like 2 kills or whatever. Which she was like 2-2 or something. Or like something along those lines of like a very okay scoreline. Had decent CS, got these massive advantages in the bot lane because of the tower and over roaming, and then became just too much of a problem. And then obviously like this is the bad type of scoreboard, so it's hard. But our comp into theirs I didn't really like as well because we were playing Sivir, and Sivir in the late game fights wasn't dying first. But into a Malphite, into the Sejuani, into stuff like that, they weren't like all grouped together for the bouncing W's and stuff, so she never was able to really pop off in a fight, even though she had just over 4 items at the end of the game. So
yeah, a little bit rough on that. Definitely, the game lasted quite a while, 37 minutes. So.
I mean, Hwei Sivir, there was a time where it was like a 2v4, enemy team had Baron and they still couldn't end or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that team comp helped us a little bit and hurt us a lot. So
yeah, but a little bit rougher of a series. But as we kind of move on to the
the mini game.
What is the score right now?
The score
3-2.
3-2. Ooh.
Patrick's on a 2-week win streak.
True.
We're moving up in this.
So
world.
pretty close.
Yeah,
but
pretty close.
Does our producer want to explain the game?
Yeah, this week it's connections. I'm going to show 3 pictures.
Oh, we have to look up
These
there
3
now.
pictures are going to all have a connection that I've tied them together with. Just so we can get everything clear. You have 3 guesses.
3 guesses.
Yes.
Per round.
Per question. Okay?
Are we like counting down? Is that how we're doing this?
No.
Just say it first.
Whoever raises
Whoever
hand.
raises their hand first,
Raise a hand. Okay.
they get to guess. There might be chances where things share a connection. It's a specific connection on
Yeah, I know.
Joe, we know that you know.
It's rigged.
I know it's rigged. It's
It's
rigged.
not rigged. I made sure that this is even and that both.
It's just a poorly designed game by a multi-billion-dollar company. It's in the Wall Street Journal, or is it
No,
New York
it's the
Times?
New York Times.
Yeah.
But yes, these all have a connection that I'm looking for. So you have 3 guesses, and if you can't guess, you could forfeit your guesses. Okay?
Okay.
Yep.
Here we go.
I'm so
Your
ready.
first 3 are. If you don't know, that's Spawn on the left. That's
Oh,
Fudge.
dang
that's
it.
FBI. Yes, Joe.
All of these are Oceanic players or coaches?
Yes, I will.
Or Australian specifically?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say O's.
All of these are Australian in the LTA.
Yeah, I almost had it.
So
FBI
that
took
was
me a
fast.
second. FBI
But
took me a second.
Patrick, this was the easy one out of
I
the
know. I was there. I was a split second too late. FBI took me
Well,
a second.
I saw Fudge, and then I heard Spawn and saw FBI. I was like,
Yeah.
this.
So
Oh,
Saw
Spawn
Australia.
was the first one I saw.
yeah, the score is 1-0 Joe. Here's the second one. That's Kindle Gem. That's Lost Chapter, and that's Brutalizer. Yes.
They're all components.
No. That would be yes, Joe.
All have glowing moat built into them?
That's not the one I'm looking for.
Ooh. Wait, does Brutalizer? I actually don't know if it does.
that doesn't cost that much.
Are you looking up if Brutalizer does?
I'm trying.
I can look it up for you.
Yeah, dude, does Brutalizer? Oh, what? This is.
Yes.
Whoa.
All of these technically.
Okay, yeah, I was more wondering that.
I don't think
But
that.
that's not the thing I'm looking for. But you're close. Joey, you are close.
Oh wait, do they all give ability haste?
Do you know how much?
They all give
I was thinking about
10
cooldown
ability
reduction.
haste.
That's correct.
I was
Yes.
I was
So,
thinking 10%
The
cooldown.
answer is they get a flat 10 ability haste.
I couldn't remember I thought brutalizer didn't.
No,
Yeah,
is the
Brutalizer
one.
has the weird cost, which is why I always remember it.
So the score is 2-0, Joe. Come on, Patrick.
I was thinking 10% cooldown reduction, was what I was thinking, but then I have to remember that that's not in the game anymore.
I was going through so many things.
So many things. I made sure that these
Some of
items
them
don't
were
build into the
some of them were too complicated. Like I was gonna say is like they're both main components in different classes, like builds. So it's like Kindle Jumpers could be tank. The last chapters could be.
His main components? That's crazy. That's
It was too crazy.
The brutalizer for
Assassins.
assassins. Okay.
gross. Gross.
It was gross. It was
Yeah.
gross. It makes sense if it was Dirk.
Yeah. No,
And then a
'cause
giant spell instead of Kindle Gem, I suppose.
Yeah, giant spell would definitely be the one.
But
So here is your next one. The three pictures are Seraphine, Set, and Senna. Yes, Mr. Joe.
all of these champions came out in 2020.
That is not what I'm looking for.
Okay. I actually don't know if Set came out in 2019 or 2020.
All these champions are in a band?
You have half of it. You need the full answer. So you guys both have 2 guesses left.
What about their band is so
Oh no, okay, I'm gonna say something. Okay, all of these, all of the singers who voice these characters are not from America.
That is too complicated.
Yeah,
The answer is no.
the answer's no, but I'm pretty sure that's
And
true.
what about their bands?
Senna's singer is from America.
Is she
Wait.
okay?
Every single all of these champions are a feature in their band. Or like they do a feature in
No,
their
you guys
song.
both have 1. You have 1 more guess left.
Uh
I'll give you a hint. This has to do with something in game.
Or do I want to use it on the? Oh,
Yes.
all these champions have healing and shielding.
No.
No. Oh wait, yeah, Senna does have shielding with R.
So, no.
it's
No.
got to be something with the band because I got half a point for that.
Half a
Well,
point then?
you got,
Well,
you
no,
got
I-
Half of it right.
information.
I
You
have
need
to.
the whole.
I need the whole
Oh
thing.
yeah.
So
But it's
that-
it's something with the band.
You have 1 guess.
It's
I'm technically right with that one.
You are-
wait.
Yes.
Is it that each of these champions have a prestige skin of their band?
No.
No,
So
because Senna doesn't.
these champions who have been played support and are part of a band.
Come on.
By clue of this has to do with in-game. Actually,
Okay.
in-game.
Yeah.
So score is still 2-0.
I-
Patrick, you should have got this one. This one was really easy.
What do you mean this one was easy?
I see.
This one was hard.
Set was. I think Set was the wild card one.
Set was
Set
definitely
was
the
the
wild card.
wild card one.
I wasn't thinking of like the fact that their support. Okay.
Okay.
I'm so ready. I'm
Here's
getting
the
it.
next one. That, if you don't know these players, that's a Nori. Then the middle is Harry, and then the last one is Viper.
Oh my
What?
god. Hold on.
So it's Nori, Harry,
Harry, Viper.
Okay, was Viper a top laner?
Viper
was
was
a
a
top laner, right? Okay.
Yes.
All of these players won NA Challengers League, essentially, or Academy.
That technically is a connection. That's not the one I'm looking for.
Okay.
Uh,
Is it Oh, it's in esports, obviously. We know that.
Yes.
All of these players were subbed out at Worlds.
That is not correct, Patrick.
I don't know.
I don't think Inori has made Worlds.
I don't think Nori's not played at Worlds. Harry and Viper.
Yep.
There's got to be something about Inori and Harry I don't know. Unless...
Yes, Patrick.
All of these players have a sibling in professional esports.
No.
Dang it, I don't know.
That's only Viper.
Okay.
Yes.
Do all of these three players have a famous one trick they were known for?
No.
Okay. Can we get a... So we're both down to one?
Yes, you were both
Can we
down to
get-
one,
can we
so
get-
your hint is they share a team
Oh, Lord.
in their history.
You know, I just learned about
Is
Nori
it,
just
is
now.
it a tier 1 team, may I ask?
You could sort of say it.
Oh, no, because... Okay. Harry is a newer player, so it's like...
The
It
urge
can't
to-
be like Cursed or
The
something.
urge to guess T1 is hilarious, by the way. It is
T1?
insurmountable. To
That's
just,
crazy. 'Cause
Yeah, all of these players
Oh,
played for
yeah, not
Ultra
T1.
Prime.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, let me rephrase it. They're affiliated with a tier 1 team.
oh,
Yes, Joe?
are they all streamers for FlyQuest?
No.
Okay.
What do you want from me?
Yeah,
Wait,
but-
I just learned that. I've just learned who that guy was. I still don't know who he is. I've never heard his name
Is
before.
Patrick gonna forfeit his guess?
Yes, Patrick.
Are all of these players a previous C9 Challenger player?
Wrong. Patrick, that was the closest answer. Weirdly
Okay.
enough. All of these players have been a part of Team Liquid.
When was Viper part
Why
of the
didn't
team?
I guess that? I should have guessed
I don't remember
that.
TL
Liquid
Viper.
Challengers in, I'm pretty sure before his stint in FlyQuest.
Ah,
So he went to TL
Rip.
Challengers and then he was on Fly.
I don't watch much challengers, so.
Inori was also on the Challengers roster, and Harry was infamously known for this
TL.
TL.
I know
my
Inori
guy.
and, well, we know Inori and Harry played for TL. I never knew about Viper playing for TL Challengers.
Viper, it's on his Wikipedia.
Well,
But,
I don't like the other Viper, obviously, so.
but the score is still 2-0. Here's our last question.
no. Okay, all right, I got it.
Ready?
I'm
Get
so
ready. It's Alistar, Thresh, and Ari. Yes.
All of these champions have a dash?
No.
No.
That's
That
not
is-
what I'm looking for.
With Thresh.
I mean, that would be crazy, though. That would-
And also, calling Thresh.
Thresh Q! Thresh Q! You can't tell me I'm wrong. That is what it is.
That's still crazy.
That's
Patrick.
crazy.
Patrick, you're down.
I know-
You have 2 more guesses.
Well, of course. I gotta get my guesses early.
Oh,
You
Lord.
have to get your guesses early. That's crazy. So, just to repeat them, this is Alistar, Thresh, and Ari. They all share something.
Obviously.
Yep, of course. Just want to state it out.
That is the name.
Okay.
name of the game. They all
I-
share a connection.
They all share a connection, yeah, Patrick?
I'm trying to think of Alistar stuff.
Yes, Patrick?
They are all currently not in their home region.
No. That is not the connection I'm trying to look for.
Where's Thresh, if I may ask?
He's from.
Oh, he's from.
uh,
Oh, is he from Camivore?
Yeah.
I'll give, Joe, if you want to give one more guess. Or
Oh, I
have you
haven't guessed yet.
You have 2 guesses, and then you both get the hint.
I'm trying to think through a specific thing on Alistar.
Patrick's just thinking.
I'm trying. I mean, I can't win. Maybe if I get
Okay.
it good enough.
I'm gonna ask it. So, all of these 3 characters have a specific skin, like theme in common.
No.
Okay, I can rule that out because I went through so many.
Yeah. These don't.
Spear Blossom, Challenger.
The skin is not
Oh.
what I'm looking for.
World Championship.
No, Ari doesn't have.
Ari doesn't.
Man, I'm just thinking through.
As it's taking a little while, I'll actually give you your hint now. This has the two things that I'm looking for is something in game and something that's out of game. I'm not gonna give you.
Why'd you say it like that? Something that's out of.
Because if I give you too much, you're gonna know.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
In game,
Yeah.
do you have it?
What if it's crazy? They all somehow share a voice actor. That's not the case.
That would not be the case.
0% chance. That would be crazy though.
All of the voice
That's not my
actors
guess.
are
That's not
human
my
beings.
guess.
No, they do not share a voice actor.
Really? I wouldn't guess that.
Hey, people can do a lot of voices. They,
I'm trying to think.
no, yeah.
I'm trying to think about something about Thresh and trying to think of something about Alistar.
Trying to go through your processes.
Okay. Well, I don't want to give Patrick my answer, but
Sure.
was Alistar in Rune King? I don't think so. There's no possible way, right?
Mr. Cow was not in.
Actually, have you played Rune King?
I have. Yeah.
I don't think he was. He wasn't in the only time I could think he would be was like when Braum was coming over.
But yeah, no, he wasn't.
And then,
He's in the pits.
oh my, I don't want to say the Thresh one because I'm trying to think about if they have it. I don't think they do.
In game and something out of game.
Yeah. I'll also rephrase my clue. Something in game and something that hits hard to home. Or that hits hard to this home.
Oh no! Is it what I think it is?
Something that hits hard to this home.
Well, I think the other one out of game is too broad for what I'm thinking of. But I mean, at least 3 of these champions are related to someone I know.
You can say that about a lot of champions.
Well, these 3 specific champions, I'm thinking about somebody who it would, in one way or another, be infamous for them, or because of them. Well, what do you think
Are you talking? I don't know what the Thresh would have to do with it.
about you?
Yeah, is it about? Are you talking?
You're just a bad Thresh player.
Hey, whoa, that's crazy.
He's a Griefer and Alistar. He's a bad Thresh player, and then he picked Zed and Ari.
That is incorrect. It would have. That wouldn't even.
I don't
been
think it's
the infamous
right
part of
'cause
it.
I don't think it would be right
No, there's no
because
way
you're not
that's
known
right.
for Thresh specifically.
Well, I mean, it's a high mastery, but that's okay.
That's it.
Joe, you still have 2 guesses.
That's
Patrick,
crazy.
you have 1.
I know. Oh no.
So it's something in game.
Yeah, they all share something in game. And they all share something that hits hard to our home.
Our home. Our home.
Our home.
Can you just say Nebraska? Like it.
No,
Like
no. Our home. Because Nebraska is too broad.
Okay, it's Nebraska Esports.
so. This is Lincoln.
That's still too broad.
That is still too broad.
Nebraska
What?
is
Joe, you're more on the
Nebraska
warm side.
Esports. A team.
When
A.
you're here, your family.
That's a catchphrase for something I don't know.
I don't know.
That's crazy. But yeah, that is the clue.
Oh, it's a restaurant that they're thinking of, by the way. Well, what restaurant are we?
What?
When you're here,
Restaurant.
your family?
That's part of the clue. So
Is-
Patrick can understand what.
when you're here, your family.
Yeah, when you're here at Nebraska Esports, your family.
Whatever you're trying to reference, it went right over.
Is it? Are you referencing a business?
No.
Okay.
No.
There's
Okay,
a business with that slogan in Nebraska.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'll make the clue a little easier.
Early, yeah.
One of the questions shared one of the same qualities of this.
Huh? Wait, one.
One of the
Oh,
questions answered
no.
shared the same qualities
No,
of this.
you're not right. these 3 champions, you're not classifying Ari as a support. Come on, right?
No, we're not doing that again. Please tell me no.
Ari's not played enough support. No way. I'd rather play her top or AD.
Joe, I know you have 2 great guesses, but this is taking a little while.
Yeah, you got to spend one of
So-
yours.
Okay,
Come on.
is half the question Alistar, Thresh, and Ari are supports?
Yes.
Okay,
And then
Or
his-
that's partial of the question.
that is half the question.
Yeah.
That's the out. That's or is that in game or is that out of game?
That is the in-game one.
That's in game.
Yep.
Out of game.
So that's open knowledge.
Is it something about like the only thing that in my mind is it something about like Z played these or something, but or Ben played these or something or
Because I'm thinking about highest mastery points. Who would be Ari third? Who would Alistar?
I don't
Thresh?
know who would be Ari.
Because it's not Ben. Ben has an 80. Ben has like Ezreal as number 1 or whatever.
ATA. No. That's nothing to do
Yeah,
with the
there's nothing with the acronym. I can tell you. ATA is nothing.
It's not instead of APA, it's ATA.
I'm also just referencing things.
You were referencing things.
No, I was joking. I was gonna reference Avatar.
Oh, okay. Avatar the Airbender.
Avatar the Airbender.
All right.
Is it? I mean, it's a support. So it's the, it's the,
You both have the first part.
Yeah, the first part of it.
You have the first part,
I went
yeah.
through all the players who played for us this semester. None of them make sense.
I mean, so Alistar for Ben. I feel like that's an easier one. That's the easiest one out of all of these.
Who? Thresh? Who's Thresh?
Lamprey. Z.
Z, and then Ari.
Maybe Chet. I don't know why.
Ari
that
doesn't
would-
play. Your chat doesn't play enough Ari.
I know, but
Also,
I
you're-
like forced him on it for like an entire semester.
I would say it'd make more sense if it went like this semester support, then Z, then whoever was before Z. Which would be Drew, by the way. But he didn't
What
play.
a callback.
He didn't play Ari. He
Love
played
Drew.
Milio every game.
True. There's fire at it.
And then it was Jerry before that.
And it was me. No, it was
Or
Nick.
it was Nick.
And then it was me.
You. I don't know who was
Oh,
before that.
why does there have to be so many people in between me? No, that's not okay.
But if Drew and Jerry did one semester each, so.
We gotta get a guess so we can we gotta
I'll start it log.
we gotta get a countdown.
We have some spicy stuff coming up.
We do.
True.
We have so much. To
We
get
have so
through,
much stuff. I have no clue. Hold on, okay. You cannot win.
I cannot win.
You cannot win. Why? We have to work together on this
I know,
one.
that's what I'm trying to think.
Okay.
The guest has to get us more information on this
Okay,
thing.
well, what information do you need?
So it's something about we are. Oh,
Yes.
Okay. Does the answer relate to one player or multiple players?
Relates to one player.
Okay. We're thinking about one player.
one player.
Okay. Did Ben grief a game and play Ari support in the last
I
3
don't
games?
think so. Let me check. What about our last games?
No, it wouldn't be because it was like Renata.
Yeah, we didn't play Ari.
What? It's a player as well.
Yeah. So
What if this was just his champions?
I don't.
No,
I will
no.
honestly tell you.
It's
I
not.
don't play Thresh, and I'm not a great Ari.
No, that's fair. It was a not guess. So I'm glad that you answered it for me.
Yeah, I don't.
Can I? Is it a varsity JV member or no? Because if it's
affiliated with the team.
I'm cooked. I'm so cooked. I don't. Hold on. Okay, so it's not Alex.
Okay.
No,
Not-
it is not. How
It could be. Not. Well, Z would not have Alistar, I think.
Yeah, you're talking about.
Lamprey.
ZS. Oh, okay. Is there? I don't.
So I know President Z plays Ari.
I was about to say is this.
I don't know if she plays Thresh or Alistar.
I was like, is this the rest of their champs.
Are they in order or no?
No, this has a random order.
Okay, it could be Z then. Because she plays a lot of Ari. I know that.
Send
It's
it.
not Mitchell because it's not Victor. I don't even know if Mitchell plays. Mitchell doesn't play League, but he knows about Victor.
That's
That's
fair.
arcane.
True. Who doesn't?
Alex, Jerry, Jake, Carl.
As you get
He's-
list names, I'm gonna put a 30-second.
Oh
timer.
no, we're running out of time.
Okay. You have 30
Nick,
seconds.
No.
Jason,
No.
Thomas,
Definitely not. It'd be Tom Kitch.
Seth.
it's an affiliate.
Who's the jungler?
I mean, I think we just have to send it on.
Is it Z?
No.
Okay. Who is it then?
Okay. You're gonna get yourself jammed because you almost got it. All these champions can be played support and that are
Ooh.
infamous with Patrick.
It was infamous.
What about Thresh?
Okay.
What
The
about
hook.
No, that's
No,
Nautilus.
that's a Nautilus hook for the record.
It's Nautilus.
Also, it's really funny because we call you old,
Yeah, true.
That is true.
and Thresh is one of the highest medical champions.
Hey, my Thresh ain't half bad.
I
can't-
would, if it was Nautilus over Thresh, I would have said Patrick.
Yeah, I honestly,
So,
I would have
no,
said
I was
Patrick.
gonna play Karma, Nautilus, and then I realized that's too.
That's
That
too
is
obvious.
super
That's too
obvious.
obvious.
So
I like.
Thresh is in there because he has a hook, and the hook is the whole joke.
No.
Honestly, if you put Pike, I would have
True.
thought of Patrick.
Pike was the second
No,
option, but then I was like,
no.
you guys are gonna get dumped on for Thresh because like there's a lot of Thresh players. The Ari one, if you don't know the lore,
Double.
Patrick.
Zed into Ari. Zed into Ari.
He picked Zed into Ari, which is infamously. Say Patrick.
Nah.
If you watched earlier, you saw that Ari had a positive win rate into Zed for like
True.
3%.
So
So Patrick, Ari is a.
I know, it's not
Bad
good. It's
joke.
not
And then-
good. I have learned.
He definitely is an intern Alistar.
Yeah, and no, the Alistar one is for some content that we didn't get out.
Yeah.
Oh, that is very.
Because,
we talked about. Hold on. We talked about that before podcast.
I was thinking
So
about that
the
too.
Alistar pick is some
You
unreleased
should have
content,
meant-
which Patrick made some questions for our players. Like,
We made questions, all three of us.
Patrick, you
Hold on,
made-
no. I did not
I-
make any questions
Yeah,
for the
you
record.
didn't make-
For the record, I would have not made the
Patrick,
mistake.
You made this question.
I did make the question.
Because we split our questions.
Absolutely.
And Alistar is from where, Patrick?
I don't remember anymore. I'm scared
Or
to.
he's from Noxian.
And he's Noxian,
But do you know what he's not?
Demacian.
He's not
He's not
Demacian.
Demacian, which is
But-
the.
all for fun and giggles, Patrick. You know this is for fun and giggles.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that was our game. Joe won 2-0, putting the score up to 4-2.
Amazing.
If you don't know why we play these games, there's a punishment at the end. If you have ideas for punishments, please send them to either Joe or Patrick or a comment section.
I vote for the 24-hour stream. If I end up doing it, I would like to do the
Don't
24-hour
dare
stream.
vote for Milk Run.
I really
Don't.
want to do a
Don't.
milk run.
Don't.
Milk run for
wait.
him would be funny.
No, it wouldn't. I don't. With the direction that this is going in, I veto Milk Run.
Milk run is fun, and then podcast of live chasing sounds also fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He has to do a podcast about the LPL. Not knowing anything about it.
Sure. Whatever.
In-depth.
Hey, whoever loses, hey, I
Yeah,
still
yeah.
have time to
Joe,
come
you-
back. I have time to come
It's
back.
4-2. It's 4-2.
4-2. It's 4. You need two
I need
weeks
th- I
to
need
catch
thr-
up.
I need 3 wins.
3 wins.
3 wins
We
and
are
then-
getting towards the end.
Yeah,
I need 3 weeks.
I think there was, 12 episodes last semester?
Those are 12, 13.
There's like 4 episodes left. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, hold on. There's next week,
Yep. Next.
and then there's, hold on. Next week. So that's last week, and then there's postseason. Then,
postseason.
so I think there might be 4 or 5.
It's about
Yeah.
4.
We'll see.
Patrick, you still have catch up.
I got time.
Yeah.
You got time. You got time.
We're counting me out way too soon.
I'm not counting you.
It ain't-
out. I'm
it ain't
just
over yet.
wanting you-
We didn't count week 1, by the way. I should be a 5-2.
No,
I
no.
just want.
Throw a riot.
Milk run
No.
For one of these two guys.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
might
good
die.
idea.
Nah, I
All right.
as we transition, because CCL has some.
I have a lot of stuff.
interesting news.
We got a lot of news, but last week, let's talk about last week first.
Last week.
Um,
All right, let's get the bottom one out of the way. ISU 2-0 Augustana. Augustana's a bad team. ISU's a good team.
Hey, Augustana, I love you.
We love
NDSU
Augustana.
JV 2-0 Augustana as well. Augustana's a bad team.
We
NDSU is,
love
or JV is not a bad team.
but that top game,
DSU NDSU was an interesting series, as I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who's watched it here, of course.
You also
Always.
You also called it.
I also
Sure,
did
this,
call
this
it.
was the
And me and you called it DSU victory.
DSU, I'm not surprised DSU won, but I was surprised watching. So DSU won game 1 and game 3. They were pretty dominant wins in terms of like they had control over the game the entire way through. It wasn't like a 20-minute stomp, but like DSU was obviously going to win.
where do you think the power was on their team? What was it? Because I know we always talk about Melmo, but obviously they have.
It was
A lot.
mostly Melmo.
Okay, so it's
But
Isn't him on this roster?
he's on NDSU.
yeah.
DSU?
Which to game 2, Chancer on NDSU did well. He did better. Melmo still was trying to carry. I think that was the Ezreal game for him. But most importantly, top lane for NDSU went a lot better. The Mundo got the Cho'Gath or Mundo. I don't remember. Sorry, but one of the two did very well in the lane and got to the point where they were way too tanky for the Ezreal to deal with. Yeah. So Cho'Gath is broken.
We love Cho'Gath.
Ironically stating that no pro player really plays, not really seen in pro play, and in general league, Cho'Gath in general is broken when tank items are good, and tank items are what, Joe? Good.
Good.
Jake wouldn't say so. I think.
No. Jake.
I think they're good, and I'm a believer in the tank items.
All right. But, I mean, yeah, DSU played pretty well. It was a lot of just like their bot half the map was doing well. And then that one game, Chanter stabilized a lot more. And then top lane went very well from Dreadfulness, and NDSU did pretty well. So I think if NDSU wants to beat DSU, they have to beat them through top lane and have their bot lane and mid lane not lose, essentially.
Yeah. And that definitely feels like a doable objective for
Yes.
them. Not something unheard of if they go in with that mentality.
Last thing I'd say is, I'm trying to remember, Tankize, DSU's jungler, had like an 8-0 Volibear game. Did very well, so.
Come on.
But
Killing
yeah, that's last week's. Now we have power rankings. As you can see, DSU is number 2.
Big shift. Well, I guess not that big a shift for you.
Yeah,
Quite
I
a
had
big
them
shift for me.
third last week, and now they're second.
Yeah.
Now DSU's down. To my only changes.
Yeah.
You had them in 5th place.
It was.
Now they're 2nd place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you beat NDSU with
Beat ISU in a CLOL.
yeah,
so.
like it was definitely something that we were just waiting on DSU to do what DSU does.
Yeah, I just pulled the trigger a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So.
But
Yeah, I think.
you
only
can't hold them down anymore.
There's going to be, I'm not going to have a huge discussion here, as I think we talked, like last few weeks, we talked a little bit more during Power Rankings, which I liked. But I'd like to save some of that talk for later. So,
But it's interesting as you watch it, as we watch the the standings happen, your guys' take on how there's multiple power levels, sort of, it's more realized now. From 6 through 8, those have stayed the same for like the past couple of weeks. 3 through 5, those have been the more volatile ones, especially in Patrick's ranking, where DSU has jumped from 5 to 2.
yeah, I think,
And then 1, I lump 3 to 5 because that sounds a little better, but
yeah.
in reality it's 1. Like 1 for you guys have always been ISU.
Yep.
2
Had
As-
mostly been NDSU.
like NDSU, and it's and now it has shifted. It's really interesting because like it looks like for both of you guys have us either fighting to get in LAN
It's
Yeah.
or already in LAN.
yeah. It's
To be fair, there's going to be quarterfinals, so.
yeah.
But
It's good.
that's something I'm going to talk about later, again,
Yeah.
for seeding. But it's been interesting to see, like, how I would say, specifically NDSU JV and DSU and STSMT have all been, like, I feel like sometimes have been number 3 and then sometimes we've been number 6
Yeah.
for both of us.
It's been definitely one of the more contested,
Yes.
like 3rd to 6th that I think we've ever had
I think
in a long time.
I think right now is honestly the most competitive CCL we've had, especially compared to like the last few ones.
Yeah.
Where it's been like 2 to 3 teams max who even had a chance to do well.
Right.
But now it feels like honestly down to 6. On a good day, I think SDSMT can beat DSU.
Yeah.
I do think they need to have like very good performances, but it's very possible.
Yeah.
But in the past, it's not been something.
No one's undefeated.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
ISU is undefeated.
Oh yeah, ISU's well in match score. I mean, so in
ISU in game score is they're 10-0.
Yeah.
As I have the standings right here,
Yeah,
which we
did-
can talk
did-
about right now, I
sure,
suppose.
we could. My bad.
All right. Obviously, we don't have a graphic now that I've realized, but
That's okay.
first place ISU at 5-0, 10-0 game score. They've been really good.
Clean season so far.
Tied for second is DSU and NDSU. DSU has a head-to-head, so for a tiebreaker in this league, it goes head-to-head, then game score, and then it like goes back every time.
Yep.
So DSU has a head-to-head, but they have the worst game score, 8-5 versus 9-5.
Yep.
And then in 4th is SDSMT with 3-2, 6-4 game score. 5th is UNO 2-2. Obviously, kind of like a weird outlier.
We have a
'cause
lot of games to play
we do, and they're all scheduled, and they're all going to happen.
by the next episode.
Yeah, they'll happen between this episode and then the next one that talks about CCL. Yeah. Then NDSU JV 2-3 did have week 1 loss versus SDSMT, but that was the DSU Blue roster. So that kind of throws a wrench into stuff. And Augustana 1-5, USD 0-5. Not much to comment there, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I think what's really interesting about this is the fact that even though SDSMT has a positive game score, we still are both putting them at 6th.
I think so. If you look at they're 3-2, but their wins are USD, Augustana, then DSU Blue,
Right.
which was worse than NDSU JV.
Right.
So that bogs them down a lot, especially after you when they do play DSU or NDSU, and they did lose 0-2.
Yeah.
It feels rough. So but let's talk about next week's mini games.
Yeah. Lots of games.
So
3
I'm
games
gonna do stuff first. Sunday, we don't have this in order, and I've realized, but Sunday we play 8 p.m. versus SDSMT.
Yippee.
Will be streamed on Nebraska Esports.
Yep, Nebraska Esports.
Twitch.tv/Nebraska
Yep,
Esports.
Twitch.tv/Nebraska Esports.
Monday, the very next day, we play against DSU, and I've done a bunch of playoff stuff, and this is by far the most important game. In terms of this game will define mostly how the standings actually play out, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but keep an eye out for it. Monday at 8 p.m., same place, Twitch.tv/Nebraska Esports. Tune in, please. Going to be a very good game.
Great game.
And then Wednesday is NDSU JV, 8 p.m. again. Going to be interesting. I think NDSU JV is someone you underrated for a while, and I think they, honestly, I could see them being the third or being the 4th best team.
Yep.
Behind ISU and NDSU and DSU. So.
Yeah,
But
definitely, these games are going to be super important for
Yes.
seeding. All of these teams are in the running.
we can talk about it later, but these 3 games are super important for seeding. Yes. Let's talk about our predictions for each one. So
Yep.
let's start with SDSMT, the first one. I have us winning 2-1. I think it could be a 2-0 from us. I do think we have a much stronger top lane and bot lane. I just think when they have their jungler and their mid laner, super good players, and they can just take over one game. So
Yeah. I have the 2-0. I'm believing.
you're a believer?
I'm all. Come on.
Are you a believer of the SDSMT end of season crumble?
You know, it has been a unfortunate trend that we've seen a couple of years in a row now. So
Who's a team we'd like to compare them to? in terms of like regular sports.
falls apart.
So
Well,
Just just before playoffs.
like just before, honestly, they're like the Sixers. Not this season's Sixers specifically, because they're horrific. Thank God. I'm a Celtics fan, so I'm legally obligated to hate the Sixers and Lakers.
Of course.
But like the Sixers always are kind of there. They're talked about as like potentially being a pretty good team, but then towards the end of the season, into playoffs, something just ain't working and they lose.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean it's funny to watch, but I feel like when you know or funny to watch the Sixers do it.
okay, yeah.
Specifically.
It's funny to watch the Sixers do. That CSL team we really
I do
compete against you.
I do like playing against them. I'm a little bit disappointed that they haven't done a little bit better or gotten better. I know sometimes you have the players you have, and you can't always get
Sometimes
better
things
players.
happen.
Things happen.
We're human.
Sometimes you have roster issues, but it has happened a lot. It can be frustrating.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think my 2-0 prediction is mainly just because of it does feel like there is a little bit of a shift in mentality that we've had here in terms of a little bit shift towards a little bit more focus, which I think this squad really needs. And if we can keep turning that around, especially whenever upcoming, we should be feeling a lot of pressure because performing in the next couple of games is going to be really important. This will be the big test. Is if we can. It'll really be if we can't hold our own to SDSMT, we're going to struggle versus DSU and NDSU JV.
yeah, and then going to DSU, I have us losing 0-2. I don't think it's out of the world to say we could win, but it would feel like a little bit of a surprise.
Yep.
We have to stabilize bot lane if we'd win,
Yep.
and we'd have to do well top. Like we have to be playing through top lane and winning through top lane,
Yep.
which is, I think at this point mostly the identity of the team that we haven't played in a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, I just say DSU because they've been ramping up. They just beat NDSU, who crushed us. I mean, I think it's fair,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't call it out of the world to think that we could win. So,
Yeah, DSU definitely have the opposite energy that SDSMT have. They always ramp up into playoffs, always performing really well in that. It seems like the players really kick it into high gear year after year. And I don't know if that is something that is internally that they talk about whenever they.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of because they've had a pretty consistent roster as well, so it's not like they had to get gelled together or whatever.
Right.
So I think it's probably more of the idea of they don't want to burn themselves out earlier on the season spamming solo queue, whatever.
Yep.
So they just sort of let it go up as the season goes, and they do a lot better.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we'll see how it goes for them. I know I have DSU winning 2-1. They're
same
looking
idea.
really good.
but our third game of the week I think should be the closest one between NDSU JV. I have us losing 1-2, though honestly it's a toss-up for me.
Yeah, it's really close. I know this was the one that I kind of sat on for a decent chunk. I have us winning 2-1. But yeah, it's definitely going to be very close.
Yeah.
Hear me out. 2-0. 0-2, 2-0. In that order.
2-0, 0-2, 2-0. I honestly, I could see it, yeah. But I'd like to get to the next slide.
Yeah.
Because we are not the only team that plays. ISU plays USD and SCSNT. Then NDSU JV will play Augustana, and NDSU will play USD. All of these games are pretty cut and clean.
2-0s across the board should be.
Yeah, ISU should win 2-0 versus both the teams, and then obviously USD and Augustana towards the bottom.
I do think if there is one game that could swing the other way, if there was one that was going to swing the other way, it's SDSMT making a very insane underdog.
So we can talk about that later. There is something with that specific result that could be very funny. But yeah, pretty cut and clean. I think what this is, I would like to stay on this slide for a little bit. But I went through a bunch of CCL playoff scenarios.
Here we go.
So we have a few brief points. I'll let you touch on them.
Yeah. So
These are just like super, super broad stuff.
Yeah.
And I have more specific stuff on what ideally should happen and then a few scenarios
Yeah.
for that.
And
So
I think the first. Oh yeah, and I think that
I have 8, or I have 9 of them technically.
yeah.
Well, I'll touch on all of them, but we'll mainly focus on a few.
Yeah, and I just the first thing that is kind of obvious off of being undefeated, ISU
Yep.
clinch the first seed.
There's literally no scenario they could lose all their. They could not show up to the last 2 games, and they'd get first seed.
Yeah, they're gonna have the head-to-heads. They're gonna
Have head-to-heads, have game score. But then I'd like to say Augustana USD.
Yep. Yeah, no, they are they can't make it into. I forget if we're doing quarterfinals include.
It's all
Augusta-
8 teams, yes.
So they definitely. I mean, obviously they have a chance, but they'll be playing either ISU or whichever. But they
Whichever
cannot go above 7th seed.
Yes, Augustana can only be 7th seed or lower.
Or yeah.
And then, yeah, USD can technically be 7th seed, but I think they'd have to win both of their games. So.
Yeah.
But
What a crazy games that would. What a crazy scenario
So-
that would be.
yeah,
Win for better chances.
all right.
That's
So
what it is.
reason why I have said to stay on this slide is because these are pretty cut and clean games. So easy to assume ISU is going to 2-0 USD and SSMT, and NDSU is going to 2-0 Augustana, NDSU JV is going to 2-0 USD.
Yep.
So all of that left. Actually, we can go back a slide now.
Ooh.
I
Fancy.
have mapped out every scenario of us for every scenario.
Hit us with it.
Let's start off with the best positive one. If we win all 3 games.
I like the scenario. I love it already.
Yes, so if we win all 3 games, NDSU will be 2nd seed. They will be 5-2. And then we will be 3rd seed at 5-2. We would lose a head-to-head.
Yep.
And then you go DSU, STSMT, then NDSU JV at 6th seed. So we'd be playing NDSU JV in the quarterfinals.
Yep.
But go to the worst possible scenario next.
Worst scenario.
0-3. Again, ISU number 1, and then it goes DSU number 2, NDSU number 3, and then STSMT, NDSU JV, and then we're 6th seed. So we'd be playing NDSU in quarterfinals.
So best case scenario, we face their JV roster. Worst case scenario, we face their varsity roster.
Kind of. So this is why I was actually thinking about seeding. So obviously, you don't want to play against ISU in semifinals, right?
Yeah.
So because of that, you don't want to be 4th and 5th seed because the winner of that plays ISU in the semis.
Yeah.
So you'd actually probably prefer being that 6th seed over the 5th seed just because you get an easier matchup in the semifinals, which I think outside of ISU, we have a decent shot to beat teams outside of ISU, but ISU is going to be really hard.
Yeah.
So, but specifically for our predictions, I'll start with yours, where we go 2-1 and lose to DSU. DSU would get 2nd seed. If DSU wins on Monday versus us, they get 2nd seed guaranteed.
Yep.
Then NDSU would get 3rd seed. We would be 4th seed, and then we'd play STSMT, the 5th seed, in quarterfinals. And then for mine, where we go 1-2 and beat STSMT, DSU would be 2nd seed, NDSU would be 3rd, NDSU JV would be 4th, we'd be 5th, and then STSMT would be 6th, and we'd play JV in the quarterfinals.
So going 1-2, 2-1 for simplicity. Going 1-2 or 2-1 would put us into the 4th and 5th seed match.
Yes. It would slightly depend on, yes, but it depends on who we lose to and who we beat. There's a lot of scenarios, I'll say.
Yeah. I mean,
And we'll say if specifically 3 of them, so if we go 2-1 and lose to SCSMT, or if we go 2-1, lose to JV, or NDSU JV, or if we go, or in those 2 scenarios, we could be 3-5, but it would depend on game score. There's so much behind that I don't want to map out every scenario. And if we go 1-2 and beat DSU, we would be 6th seed, but 3-5 would be DSU, SCSMT, NDSU JV, all would be on game score again.
yeah.
And then is there any, I don't know if I want to cover any of these other ones, but I have one more.
Oh.
So I have the chaos scenario.
Oh, good.
Right? So we start on Sunday, right? UNL beats SDSMT.
Obviously.
Okay.
Starting chaos normally.
Chaos normally. And then on Monday, UNL beats DSU.
Okay.
Right? And then NDSU JV beats USD. And then SDSMT beats ISU. And then
Gods can't bleed.
Augustana beats NDSU.
Of course.
Yep. And
Love
then
Augustana.
on Wednesday, NDSU JV beats UNL.
Oh, dang it.
So in this scenario, UNL 4-3, NDSU 4-3,
4-3.
NDSU JV 4-3, SDSMT 4-3, DSU 4-3.
Should we have a
It would be a
five-way
five-way tie for second place. Now, I've also done the whole thing on the head-to-heads. I would say, so the way it works is like STSMT only would have a hot tiebreaker versus NDSU JV. So I put them sixth. And then the way it worked out through that way would be NDSU would be second seed, NDSU JV would be third seed, UNL would be fourth seed, DSU would be fifth seed, and then SDSMT would be 16th,
Of course.
which is, oh my, we are on present. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there is no likely scenario that we would be second seed. The only way I found was we would have to go 3-0, we had to be 5-2, and then Augustana would have to beat NDSU.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Don't look about.
I mean,
don't
yeah,
look the man
so
behind the curtain.
overall, I just said a lot of information. Do you have any like thoughts?
I think the takeaway is we're gonna be in a very reasonable running for 4th, 5th seed,
Yeah, I think
which is funny enough is actually where you put us at 5th seed. I put us at 4th seed.
yeah. So overall, like, I tried to use ChatGPT to do all this first.
Ooh.
It did not work out as well as I thought it would,
I gotta
but
show you how to
it did
work
give me some like ideas of
No,
um.
it's the way to go.
But it gave me some ideas of like, ISU's clearly number one, obviously, and nothing you can do. Augustana and USD are the bottom, but then specifically in the middle is sort of like a group together DSU, NDSU, and STSMT as like the second through 4th, and then it had NDSU, JV, and us as the 6th and 5th place.
Yeah.
As like the kind of groupings they had.
Right.
I think because
That makes sense.
it doesn't see SSMT like play, and because of that, it has a little bit of a higher thinking or perception of it because of the record. But I think it's an interesting idea of like, I think DSU and NDSU are like 2 and 3, pretty cemented. And then it's JV, SGSMT, and us as like that 4, 5, 6
6,
seeds.
yeah.
So
And that does definitely feel like so obviously it does feel like ISU number 1, NDSU feels like a step above everyone else, and DSU now beating them
feels
feels
like
like they need to be in the same group. It's hard to put SDSMT, NDSU JV, and UNL in the same. Like I think they're in the same running as that group of people, but it feels like there's like a small gap.
yeah,
between
it feels like
those two.
like they're a few games behind of like in theory of standings. They're a few games behind. It's possible for them to beat them, but you would not take them on any given day.
Nope.
I do think if we have the biggest variance of what our ceiling is, what our floor is, I'd say,
Yeah.
because we can be 6th, and I wouldn't be surprised. I would be a little bit surprised, but there possibility we could be 6th, and I wouldn't bat an eye.
Yeah.
But also, we could be 3rd, and it wouldn't be that surprising as well. And I do think we could beat DSU, and then we could go 3-0, and I wouldn't be insanely surprised.
Yeah.
But I would favor DSU over us, even if we do beat them in a BO3 or BO5 and playoffs. So
So you heard it here first. We are 3-0ing. Joe has claimed
Actually,
that
for
to
the
be
record,
fact.
I predicted a 1-2.
Yeah, no, I'm the one who predicted.
You predicted 2-1.
2-1.
What do you think we're doing? Oh, you did 2-1 as
2-1
well.
as well. Yeah, except it was a 0-2 loss versus
Yeah.
DSU, and then a 2-0 win versus NDSU JV.
I do think, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, definitely super exciting games coming up.
A lot of
all three of the upcoming series,
Matter.
very close, very much matter.
because when I mapped them out, these 3 games were the ones that were deciding weren't like super obvious who was going to win it, and had a lot of playoff picture changes.
So it's win and we're in. Gotcha.
Yeah, but I will say, all 8 teams make playoffs, but only the top 4, the semifinals and finals, are at land. So.
Yep. So we'll have to. I mean, you have to win those quarterfinals. So wherever you get your seeding, that's going to be super important. That's why these games matter. You said, do you mind running us through when these games are once again?
So Sunday is SDSMT at 8 p.m. on twitch.tv/Nebraska Esports.
Perfect.
And then on Monday, DSU, 8 p.m. twitch.tv/Nebraska Esports.
Perfect.
Stream, and you get to see these two.
Wednesday is NDSU JV, 8 p.m. Central time for all of them, I suppose. Twitch.tv/Nebraska Esports.
And all these are going to be streamed. You get to see the boys stream.
Yeah.
Us in person.
In person,
On
with
Twitch-
the studio.
On twitch.tv.
That's Nebraska Esports.
And we get to have a fun old grand time.
Come on.
Watching some League
Of Legends.
Some Nebraska
Yeah.
Esports League of Legends.
Come on.
I will be interested to see because, I mean, let's be completely fair. We're 2-2 right now, but we've beaten the 2 bad teams.
Yeah.
So,
It-
I'll honestly, it's like we haven't really played since week 3,
Yeah.
and it's week 7
Yeah.
next week. So,
So we'll have to see. I mean, like this
essentially
is going to be the week to like gauge where is Nebraska actually at, because it's the same idea as where SDSMT is at. Like
Yeah.
who has SDSMT played?
yeah, they haven't played ISU and us.
Yeah.
So,
So they have some more things that they need to show. Their 2 losses were against some pretty good teams. Our 2 losses were against some pretty good teams. All of their wins are against not so great teams. All of our wins are against not so great teams.
Yep.
So we're definitely in a very similar boat. So we'll have to see how things shake up, because these seedings will matter and when making it into LAN. So.
No.
I want to go forward a slide. Why isn't it?
Oh, you have to click it on the. Yeah, you have to click it on that side.
no.
No, yeah,
Go
just
up,
on the right
go
side.
Oh,
There we go.
there we go. What is that picture of you?
For lore. Or that is me getting jump scared and me pog facing at the same time.
Uh-huh.
Camera got into face. And yeah. That's when I
Is
decided
that a flash, by the way, or is that a bite? Just a
that's a light.
okay.
Yeah.
It's
Phenomenal.
crazy bright.
Um,
I don't know how well that picks up, but it's very, very bright in that photo.
It is a bright picture.
this is when he edits in right here.
No, Patrick, I'm gonna put it in beforehand.
Oh,
Just so you look goofy.
no! Dang it. My poor transition.
Yeah, but
For
as we said, twitch.tv/Nebraska
Twitch.tv/Nebraska Esports.
follow our socials.
Follow our socials. It's in the description.
Hit the like,
Button.
the comment down below, and subscribe for more videos.
Also, just have fun.
Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Cornhusker Cooldown, and we hope to see you guys in our upcoming games. See you there.
Bye bye.